Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. The fans are filling the seats in San Antonio, the site of our broadcast, and where the Spurs will be going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. For Philadelphia, with a record of 1-8 coming into tonight, you can feel an air of desperation starting to form around this team. You can only wait so long to get things in gear. Guys, let's talk about Nerlens Noel. Really made the most of his rookie season, which was actually, if you want to say, was his second season.
Yeah, it really wasn't his rookie.
But it really, technically he was a rookie.
Okay.
After sitting out after the ACL surgery.
Yeah.
So defensively, what do you think?
Yeah, but when you sit down and watch for a year on an NBA bench, I think that was an incredible advantage for him as a defender, because he changes a lot of shots, because now he can read the defenses better, and he's a terrific ball hawk, gets lots of steals. This guy has a bright future.
So he's a rookie, but he's got a lot more knowledge of the NBA game than he would of a guy who's actually in his first year.
And he has the potential to be one of the best defensive big men in the entire league.
Wow.
If he continues to play the way he's playing.
Wow, yeah, that is
deserving potential.
Of a well.
Okay.
What's that potential?
Potential will get you fired.
I can't spell it, but I can say it. Potential.
He'll catch it.
Coming up shortly, the tip. Let's go to Kevin Harlan courtside.
The Tower of the Americas in Hemisphere Park. Reminders of the International Expo San Antonio hosted years back. It's home to the Alamo and the Spurs. San Antonio, Texas, as we bring you an interconference rivalry here at the AT&T Center. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Look at Philadelphia. This indeed is a tough time for him right now, trying to figure out how to win games. Only one win in their first 9 starts.
And you wondered coming into the season if this team might have some issues, and that's been the case here thus far. We'll see if they can address those issues. It's a long season, and find a way to turn it around.
Clearly some deficiencies in this roster that need to be addressed. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I mean, they'd love to get back to around 500. But the way they're made and constituted, that'll be tough.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. So on the floor for Philadelphia, Joel Embiid out there with Okafor. Then it's Kendall Marshall. Then it's Robert Covington. And it's Smith in at the 1. And he gets it to go.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in a more of a spotlight. He's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. For a long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big 3, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big 3 recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. And they get it back. Kept alive. Here's Covington, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. It's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
And guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big 3, but to think of himself as the big 1. And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach greatness. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team.
That one misses. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
Tries again. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Yeah, it's just hard to make up when you have an inability to make free throws consistently, and that's why they ended up losing.
Yes, sir. I think some doubt started to creep in when they kept missing those foul shots. I mean, you could see them start to shy away from wanting to even go to the line. And you look at the Spurs and how they avoid losing streaks. I mean, most teams losing 4 in a row wouldn't be such a big deal. It's only a big deal for the Spurs because they're so consistent year in and year out.
And Embiid throws it down.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
Here's Leonard after the Sixers pick up 2. Here's Green. Offensive rebound. Here's Aldridge. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
And Philadelphia has possession, following the bucket by the Spurs. Just 5 on the clock. For 3, Marshall. Green with the block. And a fast break now for the Spurs. And Parker gets it to go. The assist by Aldridge. Parker's got his first bucket of the night.
Well, what a smart pass that time by Aldridge.
And guys, for the Spurs, a big reason they rarely go on losing streaks is that they have no bad matchups. One of only 3 teams in the NBA last year to defeat every other NBA team. Winning for this group is just second nature.
Now, here's Marshall. He's coming off a 13-point game against Oklahoma City.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Now, here's Green. Jahlil Okafor unable to get his last shot to go. Back to Green. It's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. That one is off Smith.
Well, let's take a look at where Philadelphia ended up rank-wise in the league last year. 1st in steals, 4th in blocks. And they were one of the top 10 teams in the league at scoring points off turnovers. I'd call them a very opportunistic team.
And I really feel like they fed off their pressure defense. You mentioned all the steals. That got them out in the open court and created easy opportunities offensively. And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Pass to Marshall. He kicks it to Embiid. Smith outside. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Embiid with a screen on Aldridge. Okafor sets the pick for Smith. Shoots a fader. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And let's go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. 4th, the 76ers.
They've got a number of guys that can deny you when you take that ball inside. That's why they're one of the best shot blocking teams in the league, at least they were last year, because they worked well together and they made it a priority.
Now let's send it over to Doris Burke, who's able to talk with Brett Brown.
They'll be up against a future Hall of Famer in Tim Duncan in this one, and I asked him how Duncan changes what they do on the defensive end. He relayed that he told his guys not to be over-aggressive with him in the post, saying, if we start biting on every fake he throws our way, we'll all be in foul trouble. We can't let that happen. We'll see if they can avoid just that, guys.
All right, Doris, thanks. And it's sent back by Aldridge, but he recovers it. Okafor kicks to Marshall. Tries to snap the cold streak. And the 76ers get it back. Spurs leading by 8. Green dishes to Leonard. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Leonard's got his second basket of the night. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for San Antonio.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. And this game, the first chance they've had to see the San Antonio Spurs.
And this is the first of 2 games between the two, East versus West, so they don't see a whole lot of one another.
Yeah, and Greg, for me, that just raises the intrigue level. Some matchups we don't get to see that often, so I'll be watching this one closely.
Covered by Mills. Here's Okafor. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And he's clearly just disappeared here this quarter, not making any contributions here with his offense.
And Greg, it's been hard to watch. I mean, you can see his frustration. He's actually looking forward to the end of this period so he can have a fresh start for the next one.
Mills with it. 14 points from him the last game against the Trailblazers in Portland.
And what I enjoyed when watching that game was the way he balanced getting his shot and also incorporating his teammates.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Aldridge. And it's blocked. Contested shot.
And let's take a look now at Kawhi Leonard's number. Great showing for him last season. Last season put up about 16 points a game, 7 rebounds, and almost 2.5 steals. And the numbers, while pretty outstanding, I mean, we've now come to expect that from this guy.
Completely in harmony with what his coach is trying to do there. Just a marvelous all-around talent.
First one drops.
Well, you know that Kawhi Leonard has an incredible reach with his arms, but even his hands are just massive, measured at 10 inches long and 11 inches wide. Wow.
Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for San Antonio. Martin comes in for Green. Philadelphia also making some changes. Nerlens Noel checks in for Embiid. Landry comes in for Okafor. And it's Cannon in for Kendall Marshall. Kicks it to Cannon. There's a screen by Noel. Cannon, the pass to Noel. He got right to the cup using that screen. Well, to give some perspective on Leonard's hand size that Greg was talking about, Clark, those measurements, 11 by 10, are what you typically would find on 7-footers. Well, this kid's 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, and I'm 6'9", and I'm about 9 by 7, okay?
Huh.
So that just lets you know.
Wow.
The only other hands comparable to that, Dr. J.
Ooh, huge. And that one's good.
No doubt they've come into this game with a really aggressive approach, just pounding the ball inside.
It certainly is working. They're finding the open lanes to the hoop and owning this game early.
Now, here's Grant. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. And Noel with the basket on the assist by Landry.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Here's Mills. He feeds it to West. no luck. And Philadelphia the other way now.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
No one near Landry as he lets it go. No good off the front iron.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Spurs leading by 12. And Mills kicks to Martin. Now the pass to West. Martin against Landry. West dishes to Mills. And it's off from three-point range. Philadelphia has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Stolen by Anderson. The 15-footer misses that one. He's 0 for 1 from the floor.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. West at the elbow. To the middle. Here's Martin. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Martin's got his first points of the night.
And a huge lead here early to start.
Well, you know, right from the tip, there's not anything they haven't done well so far.
And Philadelphia calls time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Some changes here for the Spurs. DL comes in for West, and it's Ginobili in for Leonard. The 76ers trail by 12. Philadelphia started to create a little bit of an identity last season after all their transactions, Clark, and shifting around. They settled down and came together.
Yeah, and I tell you, it looks like the identity will be the Sixers being a defensive team going forward. Offense has its fits and starts, but defensively they found some traction.
Now here's Mills looking for his first basket still in this one. He dishes it to Diaw, passes it to Ginobili. No good with the triple.
It's still early, but they've started to establish themselves on the glass here.
Yeah, scrappy, Clark, for each and every rebound. They are not backing down. They need to start taking care of the basketball. Careless play since the opening tip.
Have to make the simple play. I mean, already they've got 4 turnovers, and it's still early.
Spurs leading by 12. Mills passes to Ginobili. Noel against Diaw. Back to Ginobili. Landry grabs the miss.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
76ers moving the ball around. Stolen by Martin. San Antonio's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Feeds it to Diaw. There's the dish to Ginobili. Diaw, the screen. 6 on the shot clock. Again, the miss by Ginobili. The 76ers trail by 12. Here's Grant. Rebounded by Manu Ginobili.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Martin kicks to Ginobili. There's the feed to Mills. To the paint. Here's Martin. And he drops in the way up off the glass. Martin's got his second basket of the night.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters, but if they even approximate that, watch out.
And he gets it to go. Landry's got his first basket of the night.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist.
Mills dishes to Anderson. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. And for Kyle Anderson, he had so many traits, Greg, the Spurs were looking for when they drafted him back in 2014, but he spent pretty much the entire season on the Pine.
Yeah, and you know that Coach Pop makes his guys earn their minutes. You know, he doesn't care if he took you in the first round or if you're an undrafted free agent. He's going to play the guy who helps his team win.
Free throw, good, Anderson.
You know, talking about Kyle Anderson, he's a bit of a polarizing prospect, has a multifaceted skill set. I mean, excellent court vision, outstanding length, doesn't have elite athleticism, absolutely needs to get stronger, but he's got a lot of game.
Tony Parker's checked in for San Antonio. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And guys, getting back to Kyle Anderson, not a fit for every system. I mean, he's a guy who needs the ball in his hands to be effective, and he's much more of a facilitator than a finisher at this stage.
They get it back. Noel. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Here's Parker. 76ers getting the bucket. And Diaw kicks to Martin. Great D on that shot, and it's off the mark. Dishes it to Smith. From 12 feet out. Good.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
In the corner, it's Ginobili. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Spurs lead by 10. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, very demanding. Throughout the years, he was hardest on his point guard, Tony Parker. And here's what Parker had to say about that.
My first 3-4 years, it was tough sometimes. Sometimes, like, eyes watered. I was, like, really angry, and it was tough at times. Definitely very hard on me early in my career.
Even though it seems like that was a very long time ago now, to hear Tony Parker talk about it now, it still sounds very fresh to him.
Did he acknowledge, Kevin, that he cried?
It sounds like it, yeah.
The game made him cry. That's one of the things fans forget about with professional athletes. No matter how successful they get, players never forget that pain and frustration or those other emotions they've gone through to help get them to where they are.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another, as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Aldridge out there with West. And it's Parker in at point guard. That's the San Antonio 5. Free throw drops for Green.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
And both free throws good for Green. As Greg was talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off. They have repeatedly probed inside in the front, guys, and it's paid.
No, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Now here's Parker. Aldridge, the pass to Leonard. Aldridge is screened. Rob. 2-on-none. No one back to stop this. Here's Marshall. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Marshall's got his first 2 points of the night. And we play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Parker dishes to West. To the inside. Trying to find Parker. He's got it now. No good. Smith with the defensive effort. The 76ers trail by 8. For 3, Covington. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
On the wing, Green. 18 feet out. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Green's got 4 this quarter.
Boy, that was a thing of beauty by Parker.
Smith inside. He's covered by Leonard. The offensive rebound. And B. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And looking at Joel Embiid, he has all the tools to be the game's next great center. He's raw, no doubt about that. And he'll have to overcome the injuries, but his combination of size, speed, agility, practically unparalleled.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Regarding Joel Embiid, what makes him even that much more unique as a young 7-footer, excellent shot mechanics, and a feathery touch. In college at Kansas, he shot Greg 63% from the floor. Many of those were face-up jumpers.
And as the season wore on, he became money at the free throw line as well. Those are the kinds of unique attributes that make him an extra scary prospect.
Now here is Aldridge. He picked up 15 points in their last win against the Trailblazers in Portland.
And how about the job he did rebounding as well, guys? I mean, just a dominant performance on the glass.
And it's out of bounds. The 76ers able to retain possession here. Right now, let's bring up the 2K leaderboard and see the teams that really knew how to clog the passing lanes last season. The 76ers, number 1.
Yeah, and because of that, Kevin, they were one of the best defenses last year as a team. I mean, they led the league in steals, and that's not an easy thing to do. I mean, that's hard work and concentration.
Now here's Okafor. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
And he also controlled the backboard as well. I mean, he really did a terrific job.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Inside, here's Okafor, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
And now Philadelphia on the break. That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Grant.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here that they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
For Philadelphia, they have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line. The 76ers might have dodged having the worst record in the league last season, but they didn't dodge having the worst road record last year, Clark.
They could not dodge that one, Kevin. Just 6 wins on the road, but that was pretty much expected considering the youth and inexperience of this team.
And so here is Philadelphia. Only giving up 6 here in this quarter. Embiid the screen. 6 on the shot clock to the wing right side. The 76ers need to get off a shot. The 3, Marshall. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Inside, deflects the pass. They push it up, 4 on 3. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
The 76ers shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And looking at last season's numbers, down below 70% as a team from the line.
And comparing to the numbers of last season, they've made a bit of improvement. So that's some positive momentum they can look to build on.
The Spurs making a switch here. Anderson's checked in. And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. And San Antonio shooting 43% from the floor. And Mills kicks to Anderson. Screen by Duncan. Anderson passes to Duncan. Back to Anderson. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And Okafor with the block. Stolen by Anderson. It's tipped. Okafor with the steal. And Grant with the clear path to the hoop. Rips down the breakaway slam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
And he gets the bucket. And that's now 6 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal. That might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Hey guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the 76ers?
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Martin's checked in for Daniel Green. Both free throws good for Okafor.
And guys, this 76ers team still trying to forge an identity. One thing that is sure, they will attack the basket, and a lot of fearless players on this roster.
Got a piece of it. Marshall with the steal. Fast break, Philadelphia. Covered by Martin. Embiid the screen. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Marshall. Three-pointer. They get the rebound.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Mills dishes to Duncan. Lets it go from deep. Offensive rebound, Spurs. Outside for Martin. Pass to Mills. Back to Martin. Here's Aldridge, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
So it's Philadelphia now, after the basket by San Antonio. Picked by Okafor. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot. This season, Clark, the Spurs kept on winning as usual. They passed the Lakers, in fact, for the best winning percentage all time for a franchise.
Well, some of that has to do with the struggles the Lakers had last season, but more of it is credit to the Spurs. Consistency and high-quality play has been who they are and have been for 2 decades.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And with the Spurs and their winning percentage, it's right above 60. Not bad for a team that joined the NBA back in 1977.
The Spurs with some changes. Boris Diaz checked in for Duncan, and it's Ginobili in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And then for Philadelphia, Nerlens Noel checks in for Joel Embiid. Landry comes in for Jeremy Grant, and it's Cannon in for Marshall. Spurs trail by 3.
A lot of the Spurs' success, guys, with their winning percentage has come since the 90s. The way they are put together, who knows how high they can push that franchise winning percentage.
Last game for the Spurs, they picked up the W against the Trailblazers in Portland.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
Mills can't hit.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
For Philadelphia, they have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
Falls for Okafor.
Well, clearly the 76ers were the youngest team in the league last season, and with all the draft picks they've stockpiled, they'll be the youngest team for a while, it seems. But if the youth can grow and develop, they could also be a force in a few years, too.
Tony Parker's checked in for Patty Mills. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Smith has checked in. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Parker kicks to Diaw. Back to Parker. Diaw against Okafor. Diaw, the pass to Martin. And the foul goes on Isaiah Cannon. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's foul number 2. Maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
And the 76ers making a change here. Covington's checked in. So it's San Antonio now. They trail by 7. Here's Martin. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's on Carl Landry. To give you an idea of how young this 76er team is, at one point last season, Greg, Tim Duncan had more seasons played in the NBA than the entire active roster of the 76ers.
That's hard to fathom. I mean, we all know there's this youth movement going on in Philadelphia, but they still need some veterans in that locker room. Very hard for the young players
And so he makes both from the line. Well, the Spurs, Greg, great at home last year. That's not surprising to anyone who's paid attention. We expect that. They're just so tough at home, year in and year out.
And Kevin, how about going 33-8 at home last season? And despite being a 6 seed, only the Hawks and Warriors, the two best records in the league, won more games at home. Hard to imagine you can be a 6 seed with that kind of success.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Now, here is Smith. Covington kicks to Smith. He feeds it to Cannon. Landry with the screen. 6 to shoot. They get the rebound. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Landry's got his second bucket of the game to go. Smith against Parker. To the wing on the left. Diaw dishes to Anderson. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
For the Spurs, it was all about being at home. That was a big part of how they went on the run. They won 20 of the last 22 games at home in that stretch, which vaulted them from the bottom of the playoff picture in the West to as high as the 2 seed.
Here's Diaw. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Landry's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Smith kicks to Cannon. The pass to Covington. He dishes it to Smith. On deep. The offensive rebound. Kicks it to Cannon. Here's the 3. That's good. Cannon's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And it seemed like they couldn't get anything to fall in that opening quarter, but you can just feel the momentum starting to shift.
Yeah, things are starting to look up. I mean, they're making amends for that slow start, finding a rhythm right now.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And the Spurs at home are so great because they just don't miss. I mean, 2nd in field goal percentage at home, shooting 49%. Also 2nd in 3-point percentage made at home with over 39%.
The Spurs making a change here. West is checked in. Spurs trail by 8. We've got 1:55 left to play here in the half. Smith right side. He kicks it to Noel. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. San Antonio's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And last year, quite a rookie campaign for Nerlens Noel. He had the ACL injury he sustained in college. Missed his first full season with the Sixers. And like you've talked about, you know, he came back and really, with a flourish, made a mark his first year in the league.
Yeah, and Kevin, a lot of people wondered, how would he bounce back from that knee? And I have to say, it was pretty good. I mean, finished 3rd in the voting for Rookie of the Year.
Timeout called the 76ers.
And, you know, getting back to Nerlens Noel, if it weren't for the ACL tear, he may have been the first player drafted in 2K13. His 8 rebounds and nearly 2 blocks a game as a rookie show he has the talent.
this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Brett Brown as he addressed his team. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Noel. Coach reminded them that he is supposed to be the key factor tonight, and he still wants to see that happen. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
And thank you, Doris. Here's Cannon. He's coming off a 10-point game against Oklahoma City. Another miss by Philadelphia. Martin from outside. The second effort. Tries again. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup. Give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
Move shot.
That one is off.
Fellas, you look at Boris Diaw and say, my goodness, if he could just get in better shape. But he uses every bit of that significant backside of his to his advantage. Opponents can't get through him or around him, so he's making good use of the extra LBs.
And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. Getting back to Diaw, he has a sneaky quick first step. You think he won't or can't blow by you, then suddenly, and you know this, Greg, you're stuck to his hip as he's taking it to the rack for a and one.
You know, he's a bit like Foreman, and I'm not talking about his body type.
Or the drill.
Yeah, you know, Diaw plays with you a little bit, puts that body on you, lulls you to sleep, then wham, shows you up in the worst way.
And stolen by Noel. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. There's a screen by Noel. Here's Cannon. Shot clock at 5. Pulls up, high post. West with the block. And so that's the end of the first half. Philadelphia ahead. They're up by 6. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Coach, you're going to have to climb a bit of a hill here in the second half. What are you telling your guys they need to do to turn this thing around?
I think we just moved the ball a little bit. We were just on the dribble a little bit too much, and we've got a lot of pressure out there, so the ball's got to move.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you at the table.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. It was a rough ride in the first quarter for Philadelphia. It didn't appear that their energy level was anywhere near as high as it needed to be, and the period ended with them in a 10-point hole. In the second quarter, it was a whole new ball game. Instead of getting pushed around, they were the team dictating the style and the pace and are now 6 points in front. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, their playmakers were in top form tonight. They showed great court vision and great ball movement. That's why they had so many assists. It's much easier to defend guys who don't want to pass the basketball.
Shaq, let's get your thoughts on San Antonio.
Well, if you can't shoot the ball, you might want to stop chucking it up. They keep trying the three, but it's not going down. They're relying too much on the three ball. Way too much. It's good when it's falling for you, but when it's not, you have to try something else.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
And now, your Spurs. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Wow, this game just a commanding performance for Okafor. 12 points, and the steals are starting to pile up for him also.
And Clark, he's really gotten into their heads because of it. I mean, guys are on the lookout for him, always worrying about where he is.
Spurs trail by 6. And so in the game for the 76ers, Robert Covington out there with Okafor. Then there's Embiid. Then there's Smith. And it's Marshall in at the 2 spot.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Here's Smith following the bucket by the Spurs. Passes it to Okafor. Here's Covington, covered by Parker. Covington passes to Okafor. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And guys, the Spurs coaching tree extends pretty far these days. Coach Brett Brown, another former member of the Spurs staff, to be leading an NBA team.
Well, Greg, for Brett Brown and the Spurs connection, he was an assistant in San Antonio for 7 years, was really indoctrinated in how the Spurs conducted business, Clark, before coming to the 76ers.
Yeah, he's got an interesting accent, too, a mix of Boston Australian from where he grew up and where he spent a lot of time, but no doubting his passion and his coaching ability. He's good in both.
He was actually a head coach for Australia for a while, an international player. Second free throw, no good. Spurs trail by 4. Parker with no one around, and Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got 6 rebounds in the game. The 76ers shooting 40% from the field. Marshall dishes to Okafor. That's good. Okafor's got 14 points for the game.
Great way to start to have easy layup against some soft D.
Aldridge a screen. It's deflected. Okafor with the steal. Oh, and here we go with Marshall. Nobody back. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Marshall's got the lead up to 8 now for the 76ers. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Guys, untidy. You've got to value the possession of the basketball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Leonard attacking. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Covington kicks to Smith. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Spurs have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And checking out the stats for Duncan. Last season, he played outstanding. 7th in blocks, 13th in field goal percentage. And he did his share on the glass, battled his way into the top 15 in rebounds per game.
I'll tell you what, he was on serious lane patrol last season. Great anticipation and timing. That's how he ended up as a top 10 shot blocker.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw missing.
It's been a strong night for Green. 9 points and 1 steal.
And we really just need to take a second to appreciate the all-around effort he's put out there today.
Well, the numbers paint the picture, and he has been what we call in my vernacular, you know where I'm going here, guys, stat sheet stuffer supreme.
Oh, supreme. So that takes it to a whole another level when you get supreme in terms of your stat sheet.
In Kellogg's, right? In Kellogg's. Spurs trail by 8. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists in the game.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
Smith the pass to Embiid. Okafor in the post. Aldridge is there. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and officials.
76ers have gone 9 of 13 from the line. And that one falls for Okafor.
And they're having a lot of trouble at the line today. And unfortunately, it's the kind of day we've seen this team have a lot.
Both free throws good for Okafor. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Here's Mills. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Okafor's got 6 rebounds in the game. For a while, the Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case.
Now, here's Green. Jahlil Okafor unable to get his last shot to go. Duncan dishes to Leonard. Leonard draws the double, deflects the pass, feeds to Mills. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. The 76ers leading by 5. The dish to Marshall. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Screen by Grant. 5 to shoot. Embiid with the screen on Aldridge. Okafor gets the bucket.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And the dunk by Duncan.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
The 76ers have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Now, here's Marshall, guarded by Green. Embiid the screen. And the Spurs pushing it up now. And the foul called on Daniel Green. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Anderson, he's checked in for Duncan. And it's Ginobili in for Kawhi Leonard. Now, here's Marshall. 7 points in the game. And he gets the jumper to drop. Marshall's got 4 this quarter.
And defensively, guys, they've lost something since halftime. I mean, they've given up open looks. They've got to buckle down and get some stops here. Play with some urgency.
And he gets it to go.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Here's Marshall. 9 points in the game so far. Covered by Mills. The feed to Okafor. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle steps for the 76ers?
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they defended the rim, as they've challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
He hits both from the stripe. And so it's San Antonio with it. Now here's Mills. There's a screen. And it's Anderson atop the key. He used that pick to get in close. Anderson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Dishes it to Embiid, And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. With a pause in the action, let's show you the teams that were best from the line last season. In fourth, the Spurs.
Boy, Kevin, I thought their coach really did a fantastic job of getting all of the guys on the team to realize the importance of free throws. You know, last year where they were great, excellent from the line. This year, they're hoping to do even better.
Unable to get the ball in bounds, they get called for the 5-second violation. West is checked in for San Antonio. Philadelphia also making some changes. Nerlens Noel comes in for Embiid, and it's Isaiah Cannon in for Kendall Marshall.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season, but he opted to tough it out and keep playing, and boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
And guys, every time we think Patty Mills is going to take the next step in his development, he takes a step back. Last season, he shot career lows from the field and behind the arc after having one of his best ever campaigns the year before. That really just makes a coach pull his hair out, and fortunately for me, I don't have it.
Back to Mills. The Spurs could have used his contributions last year. Parker was hobbled. Corey Joseph was still learning. Mills didn't put together consistent efforts and ended up losing minutes, Clark, because of it.
Yeah, you know, Mills had the opportunity to make an impact for a championship contender. That chance doesn't come very often. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the most of it.
Now, here's Mills following the shot by Carl Landry. Martin kicks it to West. Inside. Count it, and the 76ers lead as they get down to just 3 in the basket from Anderson.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
A rebound by the Spurs. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
Here's Cannon, Noel, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Last season, the first season of action for Nerlens Noel, officially a rookie after sitting out the 2014 season. He looked good, and he got better as the season was going on.
A great point. I think that year off really helped him grow as a player. Coming into the draft when he came out, he was a guy who I thought had one of the most unbelievable motors I had ever seen. And you know what? Everything he was hyped up to be, he lived up to on the defensive end.
He's off on the first.
And for Noel, I really think he took off in the back half of the season. Up to scoring, his shooting percentage, and his rebounding. You can see him getting better almost every game.
Boris Diaz checked in for San Antonio. And the second free throw, good.
And by the end of the season last year, Noel was completely different as a player. Always a defensive force in the league. His development is probably going faster than many expected.
Now, here's Diaz. Pass to Mills. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Second shot opportunity. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
You really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
The first one falls. Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, Clark, than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
And Diaw drops them both. For Philadelphia, they've gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Cannon kicks to Landry. Here's Cannon. Pass to Noel. David West grabs the miss.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Parker outside. He feeds it to Martin. For the tie, it's Anderson with the drive. No good at the rim.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Now, here's Grant. Flews off the pick and hammers it home.
And guys, that's one of the more basic plays in anybody's playbook, but not to mention also truly one of the best.
And Greg, the pick frees him up, and Clark, the dunk, caps it off.
Well, you know, for me, guys, it's all about positioning and anticipation on those screen plays, and they got it right there.
It's Anderson with the drive. No luck. So Philadelphia will take it the other way. Here's Cannon, covered by Martin. Landry, a screen on Martin. Here's Cannon. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Now it's a 6-point Philadelphia lead. To the left side wing. Here's Anderson. Goes back up. No good from West.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Here's a screen by Noel. To the inside. Here's Landry. Soft touch off the glass. Landry's got his third basket of the night right there.
And the advantage they have starting to increase. Things are coming together for them at a really opportune time.
You know, they don't want to let them hang around too long here. I agree with you. I mean, it's best to go ahead and build that lead here in the third.
Now here's Parker. The pass to Dion. He dishes it to West. Landry grabs the miss. The 76ers leading by 8. Kicks to Grant. 1:56 left to play in the third. Some room here for Landry, and the 76ers tack on 2 more.
And they can up the ante a little bit there after that basket.
Yeah, you know, their lead's increasing, and they've got to be feeling better and better about the way this game is starting to play out now. So we'll see if they can close it out.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And for Carl Landry, he powered his way through the league a few years back, but somewhere along the line, Clark, his game kind of topped out.
His best season, Kevin, he averaged 18 and 7. I think injuries have been a factor, but last year was down to 7 and 4 his game averages, so he's starting to slide.
Kawhi Leonard, he's checked in for Kyle Anderson. Spurs trail by 10. Parker outside. He kicks to Martin. Over in the corner, Diaw. Shot to stop the run. He takes it up and lays it in. Diaw's got 4 this quarter.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
Screen by Smith. Covington kicks to Cannon. And the shot falls short this time.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Now, here's Diaw. He's got 6. Lock at 6. Here's Leonard. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
Noel, a screen on Leonard. Smith kicks to Noel. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. And it's 9 points for Nerlens Noel.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
This game has been a battle, and maybe they're starting to just run out of gas a little bit.
Now, here is Smith. And Smith gets double-teamed. Cannon from long range. Rebound, San Antonio. Martin's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's West. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And the free throw, no good.
Boy, their struggles at the line this half really starting to haunt them. They just cannot afford to miss free throws. It's like skipping breakfast. At some point in time, it's going to come back to hurt you.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Now Parker. Screen by Duncan. Here's Aldridge. A second chance effort. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And not so fast. The officials are going to check that shot again and make sure they got it right before we go to the fourth.
And the footage relayed to the officials from the replay center in Secaucus, I think he got it off in time. The replay leaving little doubt.
But to me, it's worth being certain. And that's why we have replay to get these big calls right. Good one.
And they've taken a look at it, and they've overturned the call. They've overturned the call. They're calling the basket good, Greg.
Yeah, and that's why we have replay. I mean, to make sure the officials don't miss any calls. And really, a good job to take the second look at it. Would have been a shame if they'd been cheated out of those points.
And we've reached the end of the third. 76ers lead by 4. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Philadelphia leading by 4. Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Duncan is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in at the point. That's the San Antonio 5. And it's Smith missing. Smith's gone only 1 of 7 here from the field. The drive by Green. Rebounded by Covington. Covington's got his 3rd rebound on the night. To the wing on the left. From outside the arc. San Antonio with the rebound. Aldridge has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Mills kicks to Green. Pass to Aldridge. Feeds it to Leonard. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Man, I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. After the basket by San Antonio. Timeout called the 76ers.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
Go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. It was a pretty upbeat huddle. He said, "I'll bet they won't take us lightly next time, guys." Clearly, he was aware of their underdog status coming into this basketball game, guys.
Thank you, Doris. The Spurs making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in. Marshall passes to Covington. Embiid dishes to Smith. Embiid the screen. And it's Smith penetrating. Duncan with some nice D.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaking.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
Now here is Aldridge. Just 5 to shoot. That ties it up.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Here's Smith. And here's Covington from the arc. They get it back. And it's Okafor missing.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, deterred them from those plans.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Here's Covington. Back to Okafor. No one near Smith as he lets it go. Again, the miss by Smith. For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Aldridge left side. And the wide open shot from Ginobili. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. And now a 5-point Spurs lead. And here's Smith. Embiid the screen. Okafor kicks to Covington. Okafor with the screen on Ginobili. Tries to snap the cold streak. Covington with the bucket.
He's got to quit while he's ahead, Kev. It worked that last time, but that's an invitation for a turnover.
San Antonio leading by 3. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Outside, Green. Offline with his 3. Philadelphia has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
So far in the game for Marshall, he has 9 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for him.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Noel's checked in. So he comes up empty, missing both.
And, you know, guys, Manu Ginobili's relationship with Greg Popovich has been really interesting over the years. In the beginning, Pop obviously had a rigid system. Ginobili played with a lot more freestyle and freewheeling nature. The two clashed heavily early on, as one might expect.
Here's Smith after the basket by San Antonio. Okafor dishes to Smith. Pocket 4. Tries from 16. It's hauled in by Duncan. Duncan's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Getting back to Ginobili and Popovich. Everyone thought Popovich would break Ginobili of his reckless ways, but in fact, you know this, it was the opposite.
You know, Pop recognized he had something special in Ginobili, and it ended up changing his own philosophy, which I think speaks to the greatness of Greg Popovich. He was quoted as saying, you know, he does things, Ginobili, that win games. It taught me to watch a little bit more and not be so micromanagement-like, and not sure Pop's ever said that about anybody else. Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game, and that's helped them stake this lead.
Now, here's Green. Mills with it. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Okafor's got 8 rebounds in this game. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Here's San Antonio now. They're on a 13-4 run. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Ginobili outside. Aldridge inside, covered by Okafor. Now here is Smith. Six to shoot. There's Noel. Almost, but it rolls out. Spurs leading by 5. Mills passes to Aldridge. Down low. No good from Duncan. Philadelphia's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Smith outside. Duncan with the block.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
That's good from Ginobili on the assist from Green. And the Spurs lead by 7.
He hasn't really done much on the offensive end, but he's worked within the team concept to help them get the lead. He's done some other things other than scoring to help his team get the lead here.
Here's Covington, and he gets it to go. Covington's got 6 in the quarter.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Here's Mills. Screen by Duncan. They kick it out to Green. The dish now to Duncan. Shoots the 3. Ginobili misses. The 76ers trail by 5. Now the 76ers on the break. Duncan with the block. And they'll keep possession. There's a screen by Noel. Inside. Knocked loose. And stolen by Aldridge. Here's Green. A huge slam. The perfect end of the fast break.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Now here's Okafor. Noel dishes to Covington. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
Look at what Covington has done so far. He has 12 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And Clark, I'm sure that won't be the last one. A lot of times he can get hot and stay hot from beyond.
And he knocks down the first one. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for San Antonio. Parker comes in for Patty Mills. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Joel Embiid. He's checked in for Noel. And both free throws good for Covington. Now Parker. Outside Aldridge. There's the feed to Green. Aldridge kicks to Green. The Spurs rebound.
There's another opportunity. Everything's going right for these guys.
That one goes. Counting.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
Smith kicks to Marshall. This is to Embiid. Pass to Smith. He feeds it to Okafor. Shot clock at 6. Goes up the baseline. Cannot hit. Some solid defense from Aldridge.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team. That's why they're ahead.
Leonard with no one around. Open jump shot off the mark. The 76ers trail by 8. Here's Covington. That one a little long. San Antonio's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. And finished off by Leonard.
And just another example, Kevin, of how they built this lead, just outworking.
Greg, that was definitely an effort play right there. You talk about that all the time, fighting to get proper position, then slamming home the putback.
Yeah, and if they can maintain this energy level, their lead will be safe.
So it's Philadelphia now, following the bucket by the Spurs. Smith for 3. San Antonio with the rebound.
And he's really trying to get them back into it, but the results just have not been there.
And here's Duncan. Back to Green. Duncan outside. It's Parker with the drive. But they get it back.
Nice job on the offensive glass.
Leonard the pass to Aldridge. Another shot. And the layup is good. And now a 12-point Spurs lead.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
The high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
That's good.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Well, they were getting tired out there. A quick timeout gives them an opportunity to catch their breath.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're leading by 10. We've got 1:48 left here in the fourth quarter. Okafor with the steal. Smith against Parker. Over to the left wing. And here's Covington from the arc. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Covington's got it back down to a single-digit deficit with the 76ers. Smith against Parker. Pass to Duncan. Outside Leonard. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Leonard's got 20.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control is essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Timeout called the 76ers. They trail by 9. 1:22 left in the game. .22 left here in the fourth quarter. Marshall dishes to Smith. Inside, shot clock at 6. Aldridge kicks to Parker. Outside Aldridge. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Spurs.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Shot quality and better overall shooting.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Kawhi Leonard. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
And he can't hit the second. Clark, they're in good position here to ride it out.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, if they just play smart right here, Kevin, this game's pretty much over.
Now here's West. Martin wide open. He fires. The shot's good on the assist by West. Martin's got the lead up to 14 now for the Spurs. Here's Cannon, covered by Martin. 15 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Okafor. No good again that time. Outside Leonard. There's the pass to Parker. Here's Diaw. No good. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
They certainly put on a good show here at home, and I think they felt they had the edge and that extra little bit of confidence.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
David, this was a game not for the faint of heart. How did you guys play through the physicality?
Yeah, it's a bunch of smart guys in this locker room. Guys know time and place. We want to be aggressive, but also want to be smart with it. So, the game got a little chippy, but by that time, we had a good lead.
Congratulations, David. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to send you over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard. What are your thoughts, Shaq?
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage. Wow.
There's no question about it. As far as small forwards go, Kawhi Leonard is right up there with the best of them. You know, if you leave him open, he's going to knock it down every look he gets. But what makes him elite is his stifling brand of D.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.
Your style is a flavor foul. Your score, I'ma take it down. All of your trash talking was pointless. Say it now.